to the sensation area. It's like 1 square inch where we smell inside our nose, just a square inch, and we can smell amazing number of things.
How to use essential oils. It's Hunt for Wellness, episode number 12. Welcome to Hunt for Wellness, episode number 12. I am John Hunt, along with
Christy Hunt.
And we're here to help you on your health journey, a journey of wellness from a spiritual level, a physical level, emotional level, right? We cover it all in this show. But today what we're going to do here in this episode is we're going to kind of dovetail off of last episode. Last episode we talked about why essential oils for wellness, right? Why?
Yes.
And you can, we'll put a link in the show notes, but you can always go over to hunt4wellness.com and see the latest episodes. So that was episode 11, but episode 12, which is this one, we're going to talk about the how, because we didn't get to that part in our last episode.
A little bit, but
yeah,
there's more. There
is more. So, I know from the classes that we put on that there's a variety of ways you can get essential oils into your system, but let's talk a little bit about that. What are the ways that the essential oils get into your system so they can help you with your wellness?
I think the one people know the most is aromatically.
Aromatic,
so through your nose.
Yep.
And you can put a drop of essential oils in your hand, rub them together, cup it over your nose and mouth, and breathe it in.
Yes.
You can do it that way, or you can put it in a diffuser.
Yep.
And we recommend an ultrasonic diffuser because it doesn't heat up the oil, because when you heat it up, you can change the constituents of it. So diffuse it that way.
Yeah, and we did a whole episode on diffusing, so you can go back and check that out. We'll link that in the show notes as well.
Yes, and then you can get it into your system topically by putting it right on your skin. Some of the oils are hot and need to be diluted to slow down the absorption of the oils, but that's a great way to put it on. And then the other is taking it internally. So putting a drop in your water and drinking it, putting it in a capsule and swallowing it.
It has to be one that you can take internally, though.
Right. You
We
can't,
talked about that a little bit last time, too, right?
Yeah, you can't take every oil internally.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, but that talks kind of how to do it, but really, what's the reaction or what's really going on behind the scenes in your body when it hits your system?
Yeah. So it's really cool. I just want to give a little science version.
Of course you do. And you're going to get ready for a bunch of big words, okay? Because she loves this stuff.
So the molecule of essential oil is smelled. The molecule goes into the nose.
Okay.
And goes to the olfactory, that's the smelling part, epithelium, and then to the sensation area. It's like 1 square inch where we smell inside our nose, just a square inch, and we can smell amazing number of things.
Yeah.
Whoa. When we had a house fire about 1.5 years ago, and that was my alert to that something was wrong.
Yeah.
It's really our sense of smell is a protection. And I was just typing away at my computer, and I'm like, oh, what's that? I'm not cooking.
And the alarms didn't go off either right away.
The alarms were not off. I just smelled something different. It didn't even smell like smoke. It just smelled different. I don't know what to say. And I went into the kitchen, and there was nothing burning, but there was a haze in the kitchen. I was like, oh my gosh. And ran and saw that the dryer was smoking. So
yeah.
So we had a house fire, but that's it. But the smell alerted me. And I could tell it wasn't a cooking smell. It actually didn't smell like smoke, but anyways, we can just distinguish various smells.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Which is amazing.
Yeah. And our brain just processes all that information.
Yes.
It's amazing. Yes. Okay.
And so it goes, the olfactory receptor cells are triggered and send an impulse to the olfactory bulb, which sends impulses to the microregion of the olfactory bulb. There's about 2,000 nerve endings which receive the impulses from the olfactory receptors. And then the bulb transmits the impulses to other parts of the brain, like the gustatory center where we have taste. And if our smell isn't working right, we don't taste very well. Things are kind of tasteless. Remember when Kat got COVID and she couldn't taste, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm only eating for texture.
Yeah, you couldn't. Yeah, and that's a real common symptom too.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
So it's really an important part. And when things smell good, we want to eat them, which helps sustain our life.
And when we smell things we don't like,
then
we don't eat them, even though we probably no problem eating them. But something in that smell tells us, what?
That's a warning.
I don't think that's a good thing to take in your body.
Exactly. Which is so cool.
Yeah.
And so the other places it goes to the amygdala, which is the emotional, where emotional memories are stored. And then the limbic system, which controls the heart rate, the blood pressure, temperature, breathing, memory, stress levels, hormone balance. So it really gets to every part of your body.
Right. That's kind of like when I think about the emotional center. Think about what your grandma's house smelled like. Can you? And you can almost, your brain stores that and knows,
when you
right?
Smell that again, it comes back to you. And I remember your parents' house.
Yeah.
And one day we did not eat bacon that much, and one day we were cooking bacon. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's your parents' house smell.
Yeah, the smell of bacon.
I think they love bacon.
They were trendsetters back then. That was before bacon was even popular, right? So
I think bacon's always been popular.
I think so too. Okay. So they work, taste and smell work together there.
Yes.
All from that smell. Okay. But when you take an essential oil in, like if you rub it on, you're still kind of smelling a little bit of it, aren't you? Is that part of what happens?
And when you rub it on, it gets into your system, in your blood, in measurable amounts in 30 seconds. When you smell it, it gets to your organs in 3 seconds.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
It's really fast. So you can have an effect that quickly. And I know we've had effects, especially emotional effects.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
Of improving and just feeling kind of relief. And
well, and for example, like the stress away oil is one where you can be pretty stressed out and you just smell a little bit and your attitude can change very quickly.
Yes. It isn't like, it doesn't always happen that way.
And different things affect different people differently, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not one size fits all, but we've had lots of experiences. That's why, like, when someone is new to essential oils, I mean, it's not something you can really let them experience over a Zoom call. You got to be in person. You got to put them on. You got to smell them. You got to do something with them so that your body can experience them.
Yeah. Truly.
Awesome.
Because we didn't grow up with essential oils, so our mother didn't use them on us, so we don't know.
Right.
Except there is a generation growing up right now whose mothers have used them, like I have used them with my children.
Yeah.
And our daughter's becoming a mother, so
awesome.
She'll be using them.
I'm sure she will, right?
Her baby, our grandbaby, which we're very excited about.
Yes, that'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so what else on the how piece of it? Because I know that we talked all of the kind of the technicalities of what happens when it gets inside, or do we need to go a little bit more on that?
I think that's good.
Okay, good. So now the big question, of course, is I know how to use them now, but which one do I use? Right. I mean, that's a how-to. Well, how do I deal with this, or how do I deal with that? How do you know which oil to use? Because there's hundreds of them.
Right. So one thing is there's an app that...
of course there's an app for everything, right?
Or reference books.
Yeah.
One of our favorites is the Reference Guide for Essential Oils. And it looks like this by Abundant Health.
Yeah, and we can link to that in the show notes as well for those of you listening.
We're not getting any kickback on this one.
But if you went over to like the iTunes or the Apple store, you could find it under there. Because isn't it like $5-6?
$6.99.
$6.99. It's
one time.
Totally well worth it. Yeah, then you own it.
Yeah, you own it. It's not a monthly at all.
Yeah.
So what's great about it is you can look up different oils, and you can see like balsam fir. Wait, it's now renamed grand fir.
Hey, hold that up to the camera and see for those who are watching if they can actually see it. It may not be able to be seen very well, but it is fun because it's got like a picture of what, of course,
plant.
Balsam
Yeah,
is pretty
but it's now
recognizable.
called grand fir.
Grand fir.
So, it'll say the common uses. This one's muscle fatigue. It does have many uses, and the aromatic influence is sort of the emotional piece of it, which says it's grounding, anchoring, empowering, stimulates the mind while allowing the body to relax. It's pleasing, emotionally balancing, and it also tells you how to use it, also what it can be blended with. So that's what you can do for
the oil section. So like if you know the oil you have, like maybe you have 2 or 3 oils and go, what can I use it for, right?
Exactly. What do I use this one for? And then there's also blends. So first it goes singles, or just says oils. And then the second one is blends. That means more than one oil put together. Yeah. So one of the blends is acceptance. And then it will tell you which essential oils are in it. Rosewood, geranium, frankincense, blue tansy, sandalwood, neroli. And then it also has some almond oil in it. And then it will it supports the nervous system, emotional balance, and, rub it over the liver when the liver is toxic and the mind and emotions are lethargic, and it will tell you where else you can put it and how you can, if you can take it internally. That one you can't. Just rub it on or diffuse it.
Diffuse it, yeah, absolutely.
And then there's another piece of it, which is the guide, which is over the first circle. And you can look up various issues that you want to deal with. Like if you're feeling absent-minded, you can look in that, and it will give you the oils that they recommend using, like rosemary, peppermint, brain power, frankincense, and then it will tell you how to apply it. You diffuse it, or you can put it on topically.
And that's what's nice too, that some of these things you can use a variety of oils for. And again, back to individual, you might have a preference on one, and one might work better for you than another one.
Well, and you might have peppermint, but you don't have rosemary.
Right.
So then, let's see which oils are on here. I'll use one I have.
Yeah.
Also, not everybody responds the same to an oil for a situation. Yeah. So you can try that peppermint didn't work that great for me. Let me see what else I can use. Brain power. Let me try brain power. So
I'm going to take a little thing here, and where we're talk about, because I know in the past some people have said, okay, I tried peppermint, but I broke out. And is it because of the oil, do you think, that someone maybe had a rash? I mean, can an oil have a rash, or is that maybe a different reaction or something going on, do you think, inside? Because
typically when a person has a reaction like that of a rash, it is because their body is detoxing something. They're typically not allergic. Yeah. It's very, very rare to be allergic. If they're not using Young Living brand, Young Living is very, very clean, has no herbicides, pesticides, heavy metals, no solvents, which most brands of essential oils, as far as I understand, have those in them.
Yeah, so they may be reacting to that. Exactly.
If people are not using a Young Living brand, they might be reacting to one of those things, which are very toxic.
Yes.
And so I highly recommend not using other brands, because you don't know what's in them. And Young Living's oils are made specifically to support the body, to support wellness.
Yes. We'll also put a link. You can just hit the connect button over on our podcast page at hunt4wellness.com if you want to find out more about essential oils from Young Living. We're brand partners for Young Living, and we highly recommend them. Just head over there, click it, and we'll have a quick call with you. And if there's something that would be a good match for you, we can let you know about that.
And we're just saying that too about Young Living versus others. I've tried others, and they don't really work. I mean, the ones that I've tried, they worked a little bit, but they really didn't do what I was hoping they would do. And
most likely because they're not pure.
They're not 100% pure, and they have contaminants in them.
Right.
So
okay. So is this all like in the guide portion of the app?
Yes, it's in the guide portion.
Is it like it's not like, okay, I have a sore arm or something, right? I mean, it's more about, is it more emotional things, or is it everything in there?
It's everything, like aging.
Okay. Hold on just a second, Erin.
Time, longevity, lemon. And then you can click on the specific oil that they mention. You can click on that lemon, and lemon will come up.
Yes.
And then it will tell you where do they get it, what's in it, the different properties, what it can do, like helps purify the air, is calming, helps the digestive system.
Yeah, lemon is, well, you picked one that has multiple uses too.
Well, pretty much every oil does have multiple uses. Hey, did you know you could use lemon for hangovers?
I don't know. I never get hangovers, so I guess
I know, but I'm just saying it's kind of funny that it's in
but
there.
you can use lemon for overeating. How does that one work? Because that's definitely something I do. We'll maybe do a different show on that. We don't want to get too far off the track.
Yeah,
but,
so
anyway.
it's fun. It's fun. You learn a lot by just spending a little time in the app. And then also it's got basics, which are the charts where you can apply the oils.
Yeah, where you put them on. I mean, obviously, if you're sore in some area, right, you can put it right where you're sore.
Put deep relief on your sore neck or sore low back or something.
But these like VitaFlex charts and those kinds of things kind of talk about stuff that, like I know that I've like put stuff up here, which is a point, an entry point that might relate to something somewhere else into my body, and these charts will kind of help you saying like, okay, you want to get the oil in your system, but if you can really get it in an entry point like that, it's going to be even more effective.
Exactly. So it's a really great reference.
Good. Yeah,
guide,
we'll link to that.
Reference guide for essential oils by Abundant
And
Health.
if you're not into apps, there are also
There's reference books.
Yeah, we can maybe even put a link to some reference books that because we are constantly looking at those.
Yeah.
I mean, because that does help you. I mean, essential oils are one of those things that people have a hard time believing, even though they've been around for centuries. I mean, that was
really since about the beginning of time.
Ancient
Egyptians.
Yeah.
And
so it's not like they're
in the Bible.
Yeah, it's not like it's really something weird. It's probably more than even some of these modern kinds of things that you see on TV. We won't mention even what they are because we want to be compliant. But so reference books, the app. Or one other way, we mentioned it earlier, but if you want to talk about your wellness journey, we offer a free 15-minute connect call. Just discover where you're at, what are your goals. Maybe you want to ask about a specific oil, that kind of thing. Just go over to hunt4wellness.com, click on the connect button, and get an email exchange. You can go on after you do that. You can pick a time on a calendar that will help you find a time that works for you. And then you guys connect.
Yes.
And it's a great way to get the journey started. Sometimes just that first step is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Right? So, well, good. So we've done the why in the last episode of Essential Oils. We've done the how. I think we've also done the where, because all you need to do is connect with us through hunt4wellness.com. And if you need to know where to get essential oils, you want to talk to us.
Yeah.
You don't want to just buy them anywhere, because there are huge differences like we learned.
Yeah, and if people connect with us, we've got a lot of education that we can give them. Yeah. A lot of resources.
Yeah, classes and things like that.
Work and support and follow-ups and things like that. Yeah.
So the only other one we haven't covered is when. So I think time is now.
Yes.
You can. That's the nice thing about the internet. You can go over to that website 24/7.
Yes.
And connect with us even while we're sleeping.
Right.
That's great. So awesome. Good show. I think it's really helpful for people who maybe even if you've been into essential oils for a while, learning some of those big medical terms in about the brain. And I didn't know about the 1 square inch for your smell. That's really cool. So
cool.
Always learning something new, which is great. And you can learn something new by coming back to our next episode of